Turns out you can plan a 6-day Overland Track hike in 25 minutes, if you let AI do it. I asked ChatGPT and Gemini to map out Tasmania's Overland Track for me, a track that I've guided more than 50 times while pretending I'd never been there. In this video, I'll show you what they nailed, what they messed up, and how to steal the good bits to plan hikes without getting yourself into trouble. Let me show you exactly what AI did with my fake newbie overland request and how you can steal the good parts without getting yourself into trouble. What happens when you let AI be your guide? So let's kick off with a question nobody asks. What does AI actually do before it spits out an itinerary? Because this bit, honestly, it floored me a bit. A lot of people will just bash in, plan me a 5-day hike in Tassie, hit enter, and just trust whatever falls out. That's pretty much like walking into a gear shop yelling,
"Give me all the hiking stuff,"
and hoping you don't walk out with snowshoes and a snorkel. I did the opposite. I went full hiking nerd. So I fed ChatGPT a monster prompt. Well, I thought it was a monster prompt anyway. Here's what I said. You're a pro Tasmanian hiking guide. You've done the Overland Track 50 plus times. You've seen every twisted ankle and soggy sock in the state. Your job is to ask tough questions before anyone even laces up their boots. Now act like that guide and help me plan a walk. Now, this is not a lazy one-niner. It's more like hiring Bear Grylls and making him fill out a risk assessment. And what happened next? No sugar-coated, generic 6-day plan. It actually acted like a real guide. Firstly, it checked if I could slog 15 to 20 kilometres with a 12 to 18 kilogram pack. It asked if I had survived a few overnighters before. It flagged all the dodgy bits: knees, ankles, heart, lungs, the lot. And it made sure I knew the Overland Track isn't a stroll to the coffee shop. It's remote, it's wild, and it'll chew you up if you're not ready. Then, and only then, did it hand over the classic itinerary, which is Ronnie Creek to Waterfall Valley, to Lake Windermere, to Pillion, to Keora, to Burt Nichols, to Narcissus, and then the ferry out. Nothing fancy, but for a relaxed hiker, the distances and times actually made sense. And why does this matter for you? If you don't do this, here's what you're risking. A track that's way too long or hard or just wrong for your slowest mate. Zero mention of weather, bailout points, or what happens when Uncle Kev's knee blows up on day 2. A plan that looks pro until you try to follow it. The smarter play is to tell AI to act like a guide, not a brochure. Make it grill you before it spits out a plan. Treat that first itinerary as a draft, not gospel. And the first pass looked decent, but could it handle real humans with dodgy joints, weird fears, and even worse ideas? Time to find out. I started feeding it with deliberately tricky answers. How AI handled my red flags. So on that first pass, AI nailed the basics. Nice, sensible overland itinerary. But that's the easy bit. The real test is what happens when you stop pretending you're Bear Grylls and you start acting like, well, an actual human. So it asked me, after that initial big prompt, a bunch of different questions, and I threw every red flag I had at ChatGPT. Sore knees, a wife terrified of heights, fingers that go numb in the cold, and a partner who hasn't done much hiking. Oh, and we're not going to bring a tent as well. Is that cool? Basically, yeah, nah, we're fine. Also, here's a list of things that ruin trips, and that's what I'm going to plan on doing my trip with. Honestly, I was waiting for it to crumble like a wet muesli bar, but it didn't. It pushed back at me. And here's what it got right. On the tent, I said no tent. It said no tent. That's a no from me. It pointed out huts can fill, injuries happen between huts, and a group of 4 on the Overland Track with zero shelter is a very bad idea. But it was pretty spot on there. On heights, it flagged the sketchy bits, the steep chain section of Marion's Lookout, the exposure on Mount Ossa, and suggested using a less exposed route on day 1 and skipping the Cradle Mountain summit so that my partner could build confidence first without being traumatised on day 1, because I had said that they weren't that experienced. On my knees, which I said were a bit dodgy, it said to go straight to hiking poles, to try and get a lighter pack, and to pace myself, especially on the longer days and on the descents, which is textbook knee management stuff. On the cold hands, which I said I get numb cold hands when it gets cold, it treated the numb fingers as a real risk, not a whinge. It told me to use a 2-layer glove system, told me to use hand warmers, and a rule to stop and rewarm rather than just toughing it out on exposed sections. And in regards to the experience that I gave them of my group, it treated my partner as the pace setter, not the luggage. So to do a conservative pace, shorter days, and even a practice trip before committing to the track itself. So here is the Overland 2.0 plan that it gave me, that it then rewrote the whole trip around my answers that I'd given it. It was easier, less exposed route to Waterfall Valley on day 1. It said no Cradle Mountain summit, get a win on board first. It said Mount Otter, a side trip, is strictly optional with clear decision points based on weather and how everyone's feeling. And it told me to ferry out at the end, not do the enforced death march along the lake at the end when everyone's cooked, and to take the leisurely option of the boat. Now, if a real client sent me that as their draft plan, I'd be pretty happy. Why this matters for you. So here's the big lesson. AI only got this right because I told it the ugly stuff. Dodgy knees, the fear of heights, the cold hands, and the least experienced person, as well as the bad no tent idea. If you just tell it, we're fairly fit, plan us a hike, it has no way of seeing the weak link. You'll get a plan that looks great on paper and falls apart when you're out on the track. So when you use AI, be brutally honest. Feed it your injuries, your fears, and your limitations. Ask it to rewrite the plan with those baked in. And that's why using a really big prompt with all your details can get you a long way. And always asking it to ask you questions as well. Pay attention to where it pushes back. That's often the real safety advice. So far, so good. But even with all that, there are still places where AI quietly gets a bit sketchy. And if you don't know where those blind spots are, that shiny plan can still bite you. So let's talk about that next. Where AI quietly gets dodgy. The blind spots. So up to this point, AI's looking pretty good. You tell it your dodgy knees, fear of heights, cold hands, no tent, and it actually gives you a sensible plan for the Overland Track. But here's the catch. Even when you do everything right in the chat, there are still places where AI quietly gets a bit dodgy. And if you don't spot those blind spots, that shiny plan can come back to bite you. And I guess it's a bit like using a GPS that sometimes forgets that bridges exist. You're cruising along, feeling very prepared, and then suddenly you're staring at a river thinking, right, that's a problem. Blind spot number 1, live conditions and logistics. AI is really good at the typical Overland Track. It gives you the rough distances. It gives you the normal sort of hut-to-hut breakdown. It suggests some classic side trips. It even gave me the main booking season and the fact that you need a parks pass or an Overland Track pass to do the walk. Where it falls down is live right now info on your specific trip. Current park alerts or fire closures. Any changes to fees, rules or quotas since its data was last updated seem to fall down a little bit there. And the exact ferry times and availability for your dates. But in fairness, not all that information is online. There's also stuff like recent storm damage or track work or reroutes. And again, some of that can be hard to find online, so I could understand that as well. Bottom line, if you just copy the plan and go, you could miss a closure or a park restriction and have no backup plan. And if you plan to just grab the ferry without checking the timetable for your actual day, you could get into trouble and get stranded as well. AI can give you the shape of the logistics. It cannot do your real-time homework. Blind spot number 2, well, real humans in real weather. In the chat, AI sounds like a very sensible guide. But out on the track, it can't see things like the partner who's quietly freezing but doesn't want to complain, the person who shuts down on exposed sections because they are scared out of their minds, the group energy tanking on day 3 when the mud, the rain and pack weight all hit at once. It assumes that you, that's wet, tired and staring at a big drop. And that's where people fall into what I call the illusion of preparedness. You've got a neat itinerary, maybe even a PDF with headings and bullet points, and it feels like you've nailed it. You've got this beautiful itinerary. This is going to be a magic trip, but you haven't built in any real decision making around it. Blind spot number 3, well, the lost nuance when you package it. When I asked AI to bundle everything into a nice PDF at the end of it, well, it was a completely different story. The conversation we'd had was full of nuance. Conditions where OSA is a hard no, when to bail on side trips, how to adjust for my partner's fear of heights, how to protect my knees on the long days. The PDF, well, it was maybe a page and a half, a bit rough, and it quietly dropped a lot of the context. There was basically no information. So if you only saw that document and not the full back and forth of the conversation we'd had, you'd miss half the safety thinking that made the plan decent in the first place. So how do you protect yourself from the blind spots? And what do you do with all that? Well, you don't throw AI out. You plug it into a system that catches what it misses. And for me, that's my multi-day hiking blueprint, the planning framework I actually use for real trips, whether I'm using AI or not. Link is down below. All right, so that's where AI quietly gets dodgy, but this is still just one AI model on one track. So what happens when you throw the exact same problem at a completely different AI model? That's where things get really interesting. What happens when you ask a second AI? Now, just to spice things up, I didn't stop at one AI model. I ran the exact same Overland prompt through 2 different tools. Firstly, ChatGPT and then Google's Gemini. Same track, same fake persona, same you're a pro guide, help me plan this setup. And this is where it gets juicy. Big picture, they mostly agreed. At the high level, they were basically singing from the same hymn book. They gave me the classic 6-day itinerary. Summer, especially February, is a sweet spot to go. They told me Mount Ossa is optional, not guaranteed. They both told me to take a tent, even if you plan to stay in huts. They both said take the ferry across Lake St Clair at the end. Don't do the death march on the shoreline unless you're a purist. So if you're wondering, can AI plan an overland track trip? Yeah, at a high level, both of them landed around the same ballpark. But the details, that's where the personalities showed. This is where it got interesting. Firstly, with shelter. How many tents? Well, ChatGPT was okay with 1 tent for 4 people as a backup, which is the absolute minimum I'd tolerate. Gemini just straight up vetoed the no tent idea and pushed hard for 2 two-person tents for 4 people. And honestly, for 4 adults, that's exactly what I'd recommend. Side trips and spice level, well, ChatGPT played it conservative once I'd confessed to sore knees and to fear of heights, but it dialed back cradle. It treated Mount Ossa as very conditional side trip and focused on getting everyone through the main track in good shape. Gemini leaned more into the you're a strong group angle, threw in an extra trip on day 1 to Barn Bluff, which is a trip not many people do on day 1. It mentioned a couple of less common campsites and basically said you lot can handle a bit more. Customizing for humans, ChatGPT really bent the plan around our quirks, my knees, cold hands, my partner's experience, fear of heights. It felt like it was designing the walk around the weakest link. Gemini felt more like a blunt old school guide, very safety forward, very direct, but once the itinerary was set, it didn't flex quite as much around individual fears or comfort. What you can actually do with this. So what do you do with 2 AIs giving you slightly different plans for a trip, be it the Overland Track or any other track you're planning to do? Here's the move. Run your plan past 2 different AI models. Same prompt, same trip. Don't ask who's right. Look at what they both agree on. That's your safety baseline. Things like you need a tent. Ossa is weather dependent. Don't underestimate day 3. Treat the differences as your research checklist. 1 tent or 2? Is that side trip realistic for your slowest person? Are those secret campsites that Gemini mentioned actually legit and current? Remember, confidence is free. Both AIs sound like they've just finished a TED Talk, even when they disagree. Your job is to bring the maps, current park info, and actual human judgment. And just to be clear here, I'm not saying let AI plan your walks and off you go. This whole thing was a thought experiment. But in this day and age, of course, I'm going to use AI as part of how I research trips. I'll happily get it to speed up ideas and options. I just don't trust it implicitly. You still need to use your own brain, your own map skills, your own research, and your own muscle on top of that. So if AI can argue with you about tents, how do you actually plug this into a planning system that keeps you safe on real trips? Well, that's where AI works best, as a sidekick, not as the leader. So let me show you how I'd actually use this. How to make AI your planning sidekick, not your leader. All right, here's my assessment. AI is the world's fastest planning assistant, but it's not your expedition leader. Think of it as Watson, not Sherlock Holmes. Super useful, but it doesn't get the final say. Here is a 4-step process you can steal and use on any hike, overland, local 3-day trip, whatever. Step 1, make AI interview you like a real guide. Don't just type,
Plan me a 6-day hike.
say something like, act like an experienced hiking guide planning a multi-day trip. Before you suggest anything, ask me detailed questions about my experience, fitness, gear, medical issues, and what kind of trip I want. Then let it ask you questions and answer honestly, like you've been paying this guide by the hour. If you lie to it, like you lie to your doctor about how much you drink, you'll get the plan you deserve. Step 2, get it to build a conditional itinerary. Once it knows who you are, ask for a plan that admits uncertainty. For example, now suggest a day-by-day itinerary, but include distance and time estimates, decision points based on weather, and any days where you definitely recommend a tent or bailout option. You don't want a fantasy trek, you want a plan that clearly says, if the weather does this, we do that. Then step 3, squeeze out checklists and questions. This is where AI shines. Get it to build a packing list tuned to your actual climate. Write a training plan for your weakest link, not your fittest mate. Draft a question list for any parks and wildlife or local ranges that you might have questions about. So then when you ring up or email or read the official notes, you're not asking, what do I need? You're asking, is this still current? What's changed? Anything here you disagree with? That shift alone makes your planning 10 times safer. And step 4, plug it into your own system. And for me, that is my trails framework: training, route, appropriate gear, intake, logistics, and safety. AI can help you. It can help you brainstorm routes and variations, pressure test your gear choices, stress test your food and fuel plan, draft a safety and contingency sheet. But the final decisions still sit with you. Your maps, your bookings, your weather checks, your judgment. Wrapping up the experiment. So after running this whole experiment on a track I know backwards, AI did way better than I was expecting it to, especially on safety flags and reworking the itinerary when I threw at problems. But it also reminded me how easy it is to fall for the illusion of preparedness. Neat plan, pretty PDF, and not nearly enough real-world checking. It's like having a gorgeous-looking topographic map of the wrong valley. Used well, AI is an awesome planning sidekick. Used blindly, well, it's just another way to get in way over your head. And if you want to keep this rolling, the next thing that'll make or break your trip is your food. And after 30 plus years of hiking, I've made just about every trail food mistake you can think of. Carrying way too much, bringing the wrong stuff, bonking on big days, all of it. So watch this video next up here, and I'll show you exactly how I think about trail food now so that you don't have to learn it all the hard way. Enjoy.